Now, in July this year, some certain allegations, which were very serious allegations, were brought out by the President of the Republic of Kenya. And these allegations were supported by the National Intelligence Service and the DCI, who claimed that they have done thorough investigation to determine that the demos that were happening in the country were being funded by certain NGOs. And a list of 16 NGOs was named and leaked to demos. Now, 4 demands were issued to a certain NGO by the name of Fund Foundation. President William Ruto yesterday was in a meeting with the CEO of Ford Foundation. How did it turn out from you being the one that is funding demonstrations in my country to her sitting and having lunch and chatting and being happy, taking photos with you in New York? The government of Kenya listed 16 non-governmental organizations in connection to the protest that wreaked havoc in the country in June. Now, Foreign Affairs PS then Korir Sing'oei, in a letter to Fund Foundation President Darren Walker, said some of the organizations funded by the Fund Foundation have been at the center of anti-governmental protest. Sing'oei said, Kenya is concerned that some of the organizations linked to the protest spent millions of shillings in the last month in an unexplainable manner. Unasikia? Now, it is noteworthy that several of your guarantees below mentioned received a total of US shillings 5.7 million US dollars, approximately Kenyan shillings 752 million between April 23 and May 2024. With an unexplained expedited funding amount to US 1.49 million US dollars, approximately Kenya shillings 194 million over the last 1 month alone, which was the month of June when the protests were happening in the country. Sing'oei said it in a letter dated July 18th, 2024. Now, deeply concerning is that most of the guarantees have been at the center of the anti-finance bill protest and the subsequent anarchic mobilization that have sought to uphold the peace and security of the state and the Republic of Kenya. Sing'oei said that the funds disbursed to non-state recipients as substantial must be prudently used to serve legitimate purposes or risk abuse to aid nefarious ends. While we recognize the importance of maintaining an open civic space and respect for the principles of open government, that we both share the actions of some of your guarantees contravene the laws of Kenya, and including the prohibition against incitement, hate speech, insurrection, and mobilization using disinformation, the PS stated. Now, this information was backed by the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, who also went ahead to point fingers at this non-governmental organization, which is the Fund Foundation, claiming that the Fund Foundation was the one that was doing what? Funding demonstrations in Kenya. The Fund Foundation replied to the claims. Fund Foundation statement replied to the said allegation. But before Ford Foundation replied to it, there was certain digging that was done by the Nation Media Group. And it was discovered that the wife of President William Ruto had received not less than 100 million Kenyan shillings as donations from the Ford Foundation. Tunaelewana? That when their narrative started shifting. The narrative of who? The government of the Republic of Kenya. Wakati iligundulika ya kwamba uchunguzi umefanywa na kwamba ofisi ya the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, has been receiving donations which are not less than 100 million Kenyan shillings at the office of the wife to the President of the Republic of Kenya. Now let's go back to the response that Fund Foundation gave in regards to them being accused of funding protests in the country. Since 1963, the Fund Foundation has a rich history of commitment to ensuring the independence of East Africa's democratic institutions. This includes our support for civic servants and technical experts who helped establish an independent Kenya, supporting the growth of the education sector and the work of the Kenyan government and of its diverse civil society. We retain an ongoing commitment to supporting work in support of Kenyans' development and Kenyans' leadership on an African and global stage, exemplified by our support for the inaugural African Climate Summit held in 2023 in Nairobi, and Kenya's current leadership as co-chair of the Open Government Partnership. Now, while we acknowledge the rights of Kenyans to peacefully advocate for a just and equitable country, we repudiate any actions or speech that are hateful or advocate violence against any institution, individual, or community. We did not fund or sponsor the recent protest against the finance bill and have a strictly non-partisan policy for all of our grant making. As we noted during the Kenya state visit to the United States this past May, we are committed to building on the legacy of the Fund Foundation's more than 60 years in the region so that Kenyans can unlock opportunities that extend to all. Hiyo ilikuwa ni reply ya who? Ya Fund Foundation to the allegations that were brought forward by the National Intelligence Service and the President of the Republic of Kenya against this foundation. Now, fast forward to yesterday, the President is in the United States attending the United Nations meeting. He posted something that caught the attention and uproar of the people of the Republic of Kenya. And I want you to listen to these very, very careful. President William Ruto, through his social media pages, tunamwambia anatusoma kaa nini, aache kutusoma hivyo, anatusoma bana, sisi si wajinga. I want you to listen and I want you to open your eyes. Ilikuwa, it was, I think, 17 hours ago. Was it 17 hours ago? Yes, no, 1 day ago. Kenya appreciate the Fund Foundation's commitment to safeguarding our democracy and supporting Kenya calls for reforms in the global economic institutions, climate action, and modern technology regulation. Held talks with the president of the foundation, Darren Walker, in New York. Remember, the same president, Darren Walker, is the person that your PS wrote to akimwambia, why are you funding demonstrations in the country? Now the question comes back to us. Ndio maana mumeona video fulani ya Gathoni wa Mushoba going viral. The president of our republic is a very funny character. Are you getting me? Some pictures, when you take them, even it's better you don't post them because you are portraying your impunity to your people. As the President of the Republic of Kenya, may I ask you how you sit down, blame an organization for trying to overthrow you as the President of the Republic. Then, 2 to 3 months later, you with the same organization are seated shaking hands and having dinner together. We as Kenyans, how do you carry us? Unatubeba aji? Unatubeba dogomodhi aji? Let me ask it even in my native language, ndio uelewe, mnatubebanga aji? Listen, the reason why President William Ruto alitoa allegations zake against the Fund Foundation ni after kurealize hawa watu hatuwezi waekelea hii kesi kwa sababu wamekuwa wakirushaka kitu kwa familia, wamekuwa wakirushia Mama Rachel Ruto ka something. Tunaelewana? That is where their case iliambiwa, yo, kumbe tunakula pamoja. Yo, kumbe mmekuwa mkitumia mama ka kitu. Mzuri sana. Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We will take care of that business. Those noises will be swept under the rug. The allegations will be thrown and piled on the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. See what they are doing now? Gachagua is the scapegoat of Fund Foundation said allegations. Wadau, inaitwa nchi ya Kenya imegeuka shamba la wanyama. Mnyonge hana haki. Ni hayo kwa sasa. Kumbuka hii ni Celeb Corner KE. Make sure una subscribe from whatever part of the country that you're watching us from.